DawnDiamondHands, as a lot of you guys know her. We're going to let you guys come in here for the next couple of minutes, and then we will get started. I'm going to send out a tweet so more people can get in here. But I'm thrilled about this collaboration, man. I've been talking to Dawn, through Twitter for, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And she is just a lovely human being.
Thank you.
And she can also teach you a lot too. So I'm going to get this link out there. All right. Give me a second here.
Well, actually, I don't know where the link is because I'm technologically challenged. I don't know anything.
Yeah, you can just retweet mine once I tweet it out.
Okay.
Here we go.
Like I said, it's a Saturday, so hopefully all the clowns are out having drinks and having a nice time. They could just watch it back.
Oh, they can definitely watch it back. And yeah, we're going to get started in a few minutes. I got my coffee. I normally don't drink coffee in the afternoon, but I know Dawn loves her coffee. And so I'm doing it in her spirit.
Oh,
I'm also just very tired, but.
Oh, God. Let the fun begin. Did you put it on Twitter?
Yeah, I just tweeted it out. Now I got to change the title, and we'll almost be ready to go. What's going on, guys? We got Supreme Team. What's going on? Living Free, David Hensley. Nice. Ice Cream Man is here. All right, there we go. Cool. Appreciate you guys.
John. I love John. Oh, no, not this chick. Here we go. Like I said. Sorry, it's this chick. Be prepared.
Hey, if it's only one, that's not a lot.
Bring them on. Bring them on. They should know by now.
What's going on, guys? What's up, Ben? What's up, channel owner? What's up, Antoinette? Yeah, I'll just let you say hi. These are probably all here for you.
No. Derek. I love Derek.
That's your brother, right?
He's like my brother. He's not my actual brother.
Oh, okay.
But he's like literally like my brother. Actually, we met on Twitter. It's really funny. But yeah, he's like my best friend. So
there we go. Cool. Do you have siblings, Dawn?
I do. Nice. I have one brother. He lives in New York. My whole family still lives in New York. They kind of never leave their little bubble. I'm the only black sheep of the family. So I'm somehow here.
Yeah, you do give off a very East Coast vibe.
Oh, definitely. It's the resting. I don't know. Am I allowed to use certain curse words? I need to know this in advance because I had this chat before and I try very hard not to. What gets us in trouble? The B word?
You can pretty much say anything. It's just like, it's kind of like the frequency of which you use it. I'm also not monetizing this video. So yeah, you can curse. Just don't be like, I don't know, Dave Chappelle.
Don't let it be every other word. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. So I could say like bitch and shit. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Just making sure. I have to know this in advance. F is my favorite word. So I'm going to try to limit it the most.
Dude, you crack me up on Twitter, man. You crack me up. All right.
I can.
So it's 5:12 p.m. where I'm at. I'm in LA. I got my German Shepherd with me, and we're about to just talk about whatever we want. Okay, so you guys can talk in the chat. If you have any questions at the end, feel free to let it rip. Let me see, what else do I have to do?
Thank you, Eric.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Ben. No filters. No filters. I know everybody's always like, with the women with the filters, look, chicken pock hole, okay, people, pores. I'm going to be 40. Go easy on me. I got 3 weeks left. Gonna live it up.
You can be the live chat moderator tonight. It sounds like you're doing a good job at it.
We might need one. Good thing this wasn't on like a freaking weekday. Then we'd really need one.
Guys, also, most importantly, subscribe to Dawn's channel. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can also just probably click on the title. But subscribe to Dawn's channel. A ton of value. entertaining individual, a warm individual as well, and she's for the people. All right, so I'm gonna put her channel in the description, and it'll be in the chat as the pinned comment.
Thank you so much. Thank you, AMC gang.
Yeah. And we're gonna keep it as controversial as possible tonight.
Do what?
We're gonna keep it as controversial as possible tonight.
Yes, because that's what we do. So no holds bars here. We know how I keep it real, and if you don't like it, unfollow. I say it every day. I'm not here for followers. That's not me. Everybody that knows me knows that. So this mouth, no filter.
Well, that's the thing. Like when anybody says, "Oh, I don't care about the clout, the following, whatever," it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because honestly, a lot of us don't care about it. But when you say that, then people are like, "Oh, you're just saying that because you want to trick people." It's like, nah.
No. No, I really don't care.
Yeah, I can tell, but
yeah, I speak freely, usually going against the grain with what everybody else is saying. So that's why I let them know in advance, and that's why I usually say, if you don't like it, please just unfollow.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Pretty much ghost bans me anyway. I have people that have notifications for me, and they're like, "Why haven't I seen you on in like 6 months?" I'm like, I don't freaking know, because Twitter hides me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I went to Twitter jail, and my Twitter has not been the same since I went to Twitter jail over the most dumb thing ever. But
that's a bummer. Okay, cool. Our volume is good. All right, guys, welcome in. We are talking about life, talking about AMC, talking about progression, regression, talking about whatever the hell we want. This is with DawnDiamondHands. This is our first collaboration. I've known her through the internet for about a year, and just a lovely individual. I can't say enough good things. We're really on the same frequency with a lot of stuff. And so, Dawn, would you please, and before we get started, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not make investments based on what I say in my content. And to my knowledge, Dawn is not a financial advisor either.
I'm definitely not.
So,
NFA.
So yeah, guys, subscribe to her channel. It's going to be in the description below. It's going to be at the pinned comment. And I think you can just click the title. So subscribe, like the video, share this. Dawn, would you please give a introduction to yourself? I was going to say brief, but I bet you have a story. So tell it.
No, my story's too long, and I'll go off into squirrels. But basically, I didn't know crap about the stock market. But for some reason, ever since I was in my 20s, I was like, hey, I'll be really good at that. You ever have those moments where you're like, hey, I would be like an amazing gymnast. I was not an amazing gymnast, by the way. Definitely wasn't. But it was one of those things that was always in me. Like, I feel like I should learn about the stocks. So it was actually like almost New Year's resolution going into 2021. Boy, did I pick the right freaking time. I started with crypto. And actually, AMC was one of the first stocks I purchased. I actually got in at $2. $2. Wow. I was on Robinhood, okay, on Robinhood charts. But I was on to crypto at that time. It was like a crypto kind of bull run. We're going into one. So I was just trading crypto and like teaching myself with YouTube videos. That's where I got into the YouTube thing. I was just looking about, it was really crypto mostly. And then once the whole stock thing started happening, I started watching YouTube for stock videos too. I was also in Reddit at that time. And then we know what happened from there. So that's basically how I got into everything. I had no intentions of ever making any kind of videos on anything. I was a real estate agent, a mom, not this life. Like, it's just, I still am like, when people are like, DawnDiamondHands, and I'm like, I'm just like you.
You're human.
Yeah, we're all human. Like, we're no different. And I think, people that are actual celebrities, like Kim Kardashian, they feel that way. And all of us are like, oh my God. And now I'm just like, not even about them anymore. I'm like, everybody's a freaking person.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing that I was so attracted to about AMC in the first place was the people. That's what drew me in. Not the stock, not the movies, not even really the money, the people.
For me, it was all the money. And then I
just kept it all the way real.
Well, dude, I came from the bottom, and like, you got to get it one way or another. And, you know, I started with Forex, and then I started trading crypto at like 50x leverage. It was insane.
Oh,
And then I got into stocks.
leverage.
But yeah, I don't recommend doing any of that. But back to you, Dawn. So did you grow up in New York, you said?
Yes. Born and raised.
Okay.
Yonkers.
I feel like that's like shaped you as an individual.
Yes, it has. It definitely has. So Yonkers, I don't know if anybody really knows where Yonkers is, but because you don't hear about it as much, but more people would affiliate with the Bronx. Yonkers and the Bronx are connected to each other. So it's just kind of when the street lights turn off, you come home. Both of my parents were working. My mom only worked part-time, but my dad was like badass. I mean, 7 days a week. We never took a family vacation. I grew up with nothing. Yeah. We didn't have a lot of money. I grew up literally, I was poor my whole life, and was kind of taught that standard of settle down, be a housewife, stay at home with your kids, get a part-time job, and that's what you need to aim for. Unfortunately, that's the way I was raised. And something in me just never sat right. I was like, that's not supposed to be me. Like, I don't want that life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really helped shape who I am, for sure. There were days where my parents couldn't afford to go food shopping, and my uncle would come over with groceries, and I would just be excited to get like a Barbie for Christmas or my birthday. And I mean, I still to this day, I would love going to Toys R Us. Like, I love Toys R Us. I wish we could have saved Toys R Us. I mean, didn't they kind of rebring Toys R Us back?
They're coming back right now.
Are they coming to the United States? Because I swear I want to go to the grand opening. If they are, we should go.
I heard they were gonna like put it inside of another store, like at the mall.
What mall?
I'm not sure, but they're
somebody
definitely...
find this out and tweet it to me, because I want to go. That is
it's at Macy's.
That is a must for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be at Macy's.
I want to actually go and be able to fill my shopping cart with all the toys like I ever wanted. That's me.
It says, woohoo, now you can shop Toys R Us in select Macy's stores. Tight.
Yeah.
Cool.
Macy's. That's kind of it's a little sus, no? How does Macy's have to do with Toys R Us? I don't, everything since this whole movement, I feel like a conspiracy theory. Like, I think even from COVID, like, it's just, you always have that little bit in the back of your mind, like, is this what the hell's really going on right now? Because everything's like unbelievable, and you have to second, third, fourth guess yourself at like what the hell's really going on is, and you'll uncover one thing and then you're like, maybe I'm not so crazy. Maybe that was going on. Like, there's been a lot of that for me lately. Not so much last year, but this year, for sure.
And I think that's a good thing. You know, I think I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I wouldn't call myself one, but I think it's good that we are accumulating so much of this information that we never would have had this before. You know, like, now you know exactly play by play, like what's going on with the president, what's going on with these geopolitical relationships. And it's like we just know so much, and I don't think we were meant to know this much, you know. And honestly, I don't even care to know this much. Like, I don't either. Simple, man, you know. But yeah. So Dawn, you got in the stock market. You said the end of 2020.
It was literally New Year's Day of 2021.
Cool. Okay. Did you trade options right off the bat, or did you start?
No, definitely not. I mean, please. I was just trying to do regular stocks at one point. And because I would just watch a YouTuber and I would take notes. All right, he said buy this with my little notepad. Maybe I'm going to buy that. Okay. Then I would see it would go up a little bit. And I would always hold too long and then end up like losing money or whatever it was. And I was like, I'm not so sure about this. The first time I ever really had any kind of major whoa that I actually made money on was Doge.
Interesting. What'd you buy in at Doge at?
You know what? I don't remember. All right, I'll just tell you this one story first. So you have, I'm sure everybody has these moments where it's like you had the lotto ticket and you let it go. This has happened to me twice, 2 freaking times. Okay. When I joined Robinhood,
I mean, I was only up
like
60,000 on AMC in June, but yeah.
There was maybe 4 cryptos on Robinhood, and Doge was like nothing. I don't even remember what the hell the price was, but I said, I'm going to keep $500 in this shit. If this shit ever takes off one day, I will be a millionaire. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know what day it was, but I was like, I needed that $500. I was like, let me just put it on this other stock that somebody was talking about on YouTube. Didn't think about it again. 2 weeks later, boom.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that feeling like, why didn't I listen to myself? Why didn't I listen to my intuition? Why the hell did I get out? So I always kind of like, I was like, damn, that stock got me. So once Elon started like pumping that up, I would pay attention. And that's when I started kind of trading it. Don't ask how, because I was on Robinhood charts and we know how their charts are. And but I still was able to kind of figure it out and make a decent amount of money. So I held on until he made the Saturday Night Live announcement. And I was like, you ain't fooling me now, people. I know exactly how this works. I'm going to sell at that peak before he dumps that shit on you when he goes on Saturday Night Live saying, to the moon. No, I'm going to the moon and leaving your ass on the ground. Bye. And I made like $50,000 on that move. So that was my first big like, whoa, am I understanding something like how this is working? And in a way, like, I don't want to say Elon Musk played us because I'm not going to say that, but how we get played by the government, how it works. Because I'm not into the news. I wasn't a stock person. I wasn't something that knew anything about any of that stuff. So that was the first time it was like the light bulb went off. Like, I'm starting to understand a little bit what's going on here. And I need to be ahead of the game. If we're playing chess, I need to be 2 moves ahead of whatever you're doing.
Yeah. I bought Doge at 3 cents and then I sold at 8 cents. I don't even know what it went to, but
it went up there. It was like 50 something or 70 something. I don't remember even.
But the name of the game is take profit. You know, you're never going to play it perfectly. You move on to the next play. So, but that's cool that you made some good cash on that. Let's talk about AMC, the movement.
Okay, the movement.
Let's talk about it. This is something that I was let's see, I joined Twitter. I don't know. Well, I've had my Twitter account since like 2011, but I joined YouTube making AMC videos February 27th. So like pretty early on in the movement. I'd say like the first wave, and then there were multiple waves of like new personalities coming in, blah blah blah. So needless to say, I saw the entire transformation from A to where it is now. And I'm still proud to be in the movement as a whole. It's just there are these subsections, sub-demographics of the movement that are tearing each other apart. And it's doing exactly the opposite of what the movement's goal is. And if it continues that way, the entire thing will crumble. And it's like, you got people that are like, hedge funds are the enemy. And it's like, dude, you are acting just like them. Like, like there's no difference in your toxicity, and you're throwing emotional poison and making fun of people and tearing each other down. And so, I was telling Dawn before we hit record, like I had to step away multiple times. I've never stopped making videos, but I had to step away from being so in tune with social media, because it was hard for me to watch like a community that big, that strong, that powerful, something that I was so passionate about, just destroying itself. And you can always learn from everything. Like I always say, you either win or you learn, right? And so I've learned so much from this community. So that's my 2 cents. But people are here to hear Dawn. So guys, remember, subscribe.
No, we're here to talk together. I don't like when attention's on me. It's like cringy.
I'm boring. I'm like old, sober.
You're not boring. I'll bring it out in you. I bring it out in everybody. Trust me.
Dawn, I don't even drink alcohol.
Some R-rated questions too during this, probably, because that's just what I do. Everybody knows. And
we're doing a raffle for a date with Dawn in the live
no, we're
chat.
Not. No, we're not.
Yeah, we're not at all. We're not at all. No. But what is your perspective on the AMC movement?
I watched my videos. So I started on TikTok. I was, by the way, like over 100 pounds heavier than I am now when I started doing it. I made some huge life changes. I don't even know where to begin.
Congratulations.
But thank you. I was just using TikTok like a diary. And I just started talking about the thing that I fell in love with. And I fell in love with the movement, the people. I loved what was behind it. It was like the underdog. Like, I'm all for that underdog. Like, I was popular in high school, but I was still that bitch that if I saw you picking on somebody, I mean, there was this kid I'll never forget. And my friends used to set his backpack on fire in class and like stick him in the locker. And I mean, I've seen some shit. And I would be like, no, like I would jump in front of the kid and I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, no, don't do that. And that's still who I am to this day. That's my true identity as a person. So for me, I was like, this is for me.
You
like, I'm all
hell
about
of a
it.
mom then. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your kid's got a good mom then.
Yeah, she does. She knows I'm a little crazy. Like, she tries to like really not tell me too much because I really, when I could take anything. You could come on my Twitter and you can call me whatever you want. You could say whatever you want. But when you talk about people I care about, which I'm sure a lot of people noticed on Twitter, yeah, I'm like, balls to the wall. I'm not taking it. I've calmed that down now, but that is how I am. That's just my personality. When I care about somebody, I'm loyal and I'm very protective. So that made me feel like, wow, I belong here. I felt like I finally fit into somewhere, which was a group of people that didn't fit in. You know, I always stood out. I always felt different. I was finally in a group of people that didn't fit in, and it felt like home. And it turned. Like, a lot of it had turned. And I don't want to say the movement turned or have that thrown against me, but I'm talking about in the little Twitter world, that is a small part of that movement.
Yeah, that's important to keep in mind.
Yes, it is not the whole movement, and it is not everybody in the movement. But when I'm seeing like these memes made and it looks like those pages of people's faces that I would see on a locker in 5th and 6th grade, and I see everybody copying each other and retweeting it and everybody laughing, and it's like, if one person hates this person, the whole gang's got to hate this person, and then that's all that's on my newsfeed and that's all everybody's talking about. I will never be that bitch. I'm not going to turn into somebody I'm not for people to like me. And I will always speak out against that. And that's why there's a lot of people that don't like me. But I don't care about likes or follows. And that is the damn truth. I care about staying true to myself. And I can't be about that bully life. I just can't do it. And there's a lot of bullying that goes on in there. You get it. I see you get it. I get it. But there's a lot of more people that get beat downs. But you get it bad too. I've seen. I mean, and you're a calm person. You're not like me. I'll be coming at you like, you are like Zen, like kumbaya vibes. And when they get you out of pocket, I'm like, oh, they done really pissed him off.
It's like, you know, at the end of the day, yes, it's internet chit chat, but dude, like, I'm a real person in real life. And if anyone ever said that to me in reality, it'd be a different situation. But people don't understand that because they don't know me. They don't know where I'm from. They don't know what I've done. Like, I've had a whole life before AMC. Like, nobody gets that. They just go, oh, Jackson, the AMC YouTuber. No, dude, I'm a real person and I respect people and I get it back. And if I don't, I keep it pushing. But when it's like 1,000 motherfucking, I don't want to say names right now because then I'm just adding to it. But it's when it's like 1,000 motherfuckers that have never experienced a real life situation in their life. It's like, dude, like, you're just annoying. Like, you're just like a pesky little fly. Like, please.
Yes, I use that shit all the time. All the time.
But like, pretty quickly it came, because I used to respond to every comment on my videos. I was responding like 4 hours a night on my YouTube videos, like when it was really popping. And then I started, over time, as the share price went down, sure enough, I'm the bad guy for some reason, even though I just report on a stock. And so I just stopped looking at it, dude. And it's sad because I love interacting with people. Like, as much as I'm an introvert and I can be very shy at times, I also love interacting with people. That's why I do the man on the street interviews and just like talk to random people. I love it. But when it's like every other comment is like lying about you to make you look bad, it's all lies. None of it's true, but you can believe whatever you want. So yeah, it's ridiculous, and I wish it would stop, but I have no control over it.
It's not going to. That's when I like stopped even really fighting it. I was like, this is just, it's not going to end. Like, let people do what they do.
No,
for me,
there's no point. There was this one tweet a few weeks ago, and it was talking about the Kansas trip that the YouTubers had last year.
Oh, and gosh, like, that freaking trip.
Let me have some fun with this real quick, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I was one of the people that was invited to go on the trip. I was going to go with my girlfriend, and I were going to fly out. which I changed my mind like 2 days before. Me and somebody else had we saw things differently, and I wasn't in the right place, so I didn't go on the trip. But all it was just like a bro hangout, like, hey, let's get to know each other. That's all it was. And this tweet that came up like 2 weeks ago was like, who was putting that trip together? Did they all plan to like tell us to sell ape like now from last year's Kansas trip? And it was the most like tinfoil conspiracy I've ever heard. And I comment in like calmly, I'm like, guys, it was just like for fun. If I told you who put the trip together, you'd be like, oh, okay. Like it really means nothing. But then when I said that, they're like, see, we caught you. You admitted you were invited. It's like, dude, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like you can believe whatever you want. It's so nonsense, man. It's so stupid.
I think that was after the AMC hit its peak, right?
The trip was man, it was around that time. It was probably after.
I think it was after.
It was probably after.
It was after. It was after.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was gonna be a good time, but I just didn't want to go. But yeah, but we can see the beauty in the movement as well. You know, it's not like all bad or all good. There's plenty of people like yourself, Review Dork, Trey, Randall. I mean, I could go on and on. Bigums, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, some of these people don't even talk to me anymore, but I still appreciate them for what they did. It's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, which is a huge lesson that I learned. And with like the internet, it's so easy to like judge somebody off of one tweet, but it's like Eminem, for example. They would judge him for one line. It's like, dude, he just wrote that because it rhymed with those syllables. And it's the same thing with people on Twitter. It's like you got to give people a break here and there, you know. And that's just my thought on the movement, man.
We might have we might not agree on certain people. I think everybody has their own perspective on whatever people they kind of gel with and all that stuff. When I first got into AMC, Trey was like my messiah. I mean, I loved I'm all about energy. You see how I'm like hyper? So I just resonated with him. I was like, oh yes, this is I would sit on those lives. And for a little while I sat on Matt's, but I don't mean to be annoying, but the voice it got to be a little bit too much for me. I'm sorry. I always keep it real. So I stopped that. But I did watch Trey for a while. That 801 battle was epic as hell. Like everything was great. Even the 14 whatever battle it was too. I was in there too. I mean, that 801 battle, I was pumping out money. I didn't even know it was just coming out of who knows what orifice at that time. Out of anywhere, because I swear I'm getting that one penny, okay? I mean, I was in it. Really in it. And you know, I'll never forget when AMC hit its peak, and I was watching Trey, and I just kept hearing him in my head, and my dad was on the phone with me, and he was screaming, Sal, like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, I ain't selling, I'm an ape. Like, I ain't selling shit. And that, to me, was one of the most aha moments of my life, because not for me. And again, I don't care what people say. This is why I keep it real. Ever since then, and you know this probably, you probably get the same DMs like I do. I get message after message. I'm living in my car, but I'm still holding on to my AMC stock. I have kids, but I'm in a hotel, but I'm still holding on to my AMC stock. Not buying my kids' school clothes. So many people that are homeless that are doing everything that they can because they believe in this so much. And that's when I said, I will no longer speak about AMC, because I don't want to feel that responsibility of anybody living in their car or living on the street because of what any YouTuber told them. I like to advocate knowledge is everything. If you want to hold. If you want to sell, sell. If you want to buy and hold, buy and hold. If you want to trade, I definitely think you should, while you're in this, during this whole entire time, learn something about how the stock market works. At the very least, become knowledgeable about things. But I can't. It hurts my heart. I'm too sensitive to ever imagine a child in the backseat of a car sleeping every night because they believe in this so much. And what if, just what if, it's another 10 years? What if, whatever? What happens to those people? And who's responsible for that? I know at the end of the day, everybody's responsible for themselves. But I remember being that girl watching Trey or watching those people and believing in them like they were some kind of superhero. And I know I'm not one of them, and I don't put myself in that category. I don't think anybody looks at me like that. I'm sure people look at you like that. Like I said, I'm a regular person. I just speak my mind, and I'm on here like, I'm different. But just, even if it was one person, I don't want that responsibility for people to make the wrong choices. So that's why I say, do what you want with your finances is your business. But I'm going to do my best to show you there's different routes to get there now. That's all. Go with whatever you think works for you. That's all I want. Do what works for you, and I'm judgment free. Now, what I can't stand is the people that think you owe them something. Let me see what's in your wallet. Let me see what's in your bank account. Let me see what's in your brokerage. Show me all these things. Well, then you became the government that we sat here and fought against this whole time. And now I see you. And I don't agree with that. And that's where I feel like there's very much a divide right now. And I'm against that. And I will never ride with that. I'll never be a bully. And I'm never going to be somebody that demands you show me any receipts for anything. I'm not going to do it. I used to do it. I look back at some of my own videos and I'm like, ooh, cringe. What the hell was I even talking about? Cringe moments. But now I know better. When you know better, you do better. And I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I've had quite a few people. I've had people request $1,000 from me on Cash App and like, oh yeah, for real. And then I've had people send me $1 on Cash App. By the way, nobody has to send me anything to talk to me. You can DM me on Instagram, but people would send me $1 on Cash App and be like, how many shares do you have? I used to get that so many times.
You used to post it every day, didn't you? Like, I remember you being one of the few that posted every single day, like something.
No, I never posted how many I had. I was just posting, I'm still holding day 192, but I never told anybody what I had because it's nobody's business.
Exactly.
And it's like, but like the most important part of that is, why would it matter if Jackson Hunter has 1 or if I have 10,000? Does that change your conviction on it because me, one idiot on the internet, has a certain amount? Like, and just like you were talking about, I don't want anybody to make an investment. Like, I don't just say that for like legal reasons, whatever. I say it because I want you to really do what's best for you and your money. I don't care what you do with it. And so, yeah, I had a lot of people asking me how many shares I had and how much money do you have, and speaking on my finances. It's like, dude, look up for a fucking second. Like, do you think anything has changed? Like, I'm still in the same apartment, man. I'm the same old dude. I really didn't make a lot of money, and I did that on purpose. It was a conscious decision to not make $500,000, $1 million. I did that knowing what I was doing. And I'm not complaining. It's just, I know how much money I made, but nobody else needs to know that. Like, I don't ask strangers how much money they have. That's just like, if you're doing that, you were raised the wrong way, man. I don't know.
I used to be one of those people that spoke against it, to be honest. I used to be like, this one's getting super chats, this, that, and this. I completely changed my perspective. I was like, well, they're sitting there working all day. Let them, if that's their job now, let them have their job. Like, where I think there's the catch-22 of it is, how much is your finances dependent on you pushing a stock? That's where I have, it's not a conspiracy theory, but that's where I have an issue with some people. I feel like some people know certain things a little bit better, but their whole entire character is now built around this one stock. So they have to keep doing it. And I don't believe in that. I never made $1 off of anything with AMC. I made my videos just for the fun of it. I never made $1 off of it.
For sure.
I'm kind of mad about it. I probably should have made money out of it. Maybe I would have worked a little bit harder, but I mean, I wasn't in it for that. I just liked speaking out, and there's not a lot of women out there that were involved in anything that has to do with AMC, and the couple that were like, well, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, but I don't like fresh vegetables in my garden. So like that wasn't going to be me. So, yeah. So
yeah, well,
make any money or an LLC.
yeah. So, yeah, this movement has been insane. Yeah, I don't really know where to go from there. We can talk about whatever you want. I want to know how you developed your mindset, Dawn. You have a very strong mindset. That's something that I've been trying to work on. At the age of 30, I realized that I am mentally weak, and I just started working on it now. And so it's never too late to start strengthening your mind. And I know that you're mentally strong. And how did you get that way? Like, were there experiences? What lessons did you have to learn? Was it becoming a mom, or like, why are you the way you are today?
I think I've always been, like I said, the one that sticks up for the bully. Like I've always been, if I see something, say something. Like I am very strong-willed and strong-minded in my beliefs. And when I believe something, I believe it. Like I go all in. I'm like intense. Everybody tells me you're intense. Like I'm all in, or I'm like nothing. That's how I am. But until this last like year and a half of my life, I didn't realize like I had my own self-worth and insecurity issues and stuff like that I really had to work through. And that's when I realized, okay, I have flaws. I was very stubborn. Like I really was thinking like not physical flaws. I'm talking about like inside, you know? It
Oh
was
yeah.
like such a great personality, but there's nothing wrong with my personality. No, I had flaws. I had a lot of flaws. Like,
Oh yeah. I'm a train wreck.
yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. So I started just noticing my own flaws. Like it would be pointed out to me, and I would be like, instead of like arguing about them, I'd be like, no, that person's right. Like I have to work on that. And it was like an awakening for me. I just started healing myself. I started that journey of why was I in that relationship for so long? Why was I in that friendship where that person betrayed me? Why do I always deal with the same shit and the same cycles over and over in my life? And everything is karmic cycles. That's
Yes.
how life works. Karmic cycles. And the only way out is out and through it on the other damn side. And you have to have that self-worth to say, I'm no longer sitting my ass at this table with people like you. I get up and remove myself. You have to come into that real, like, you got to be a lion. You can't give a crap what anybody thinks about you. It doesn't matter if a million people are telling you you're wrong and beating you down every day. If you truly believe in whatever it is you're talking about and in yourself, stand your damn ground. That's who I am. And it strengthened throughout this process. It really did. And just kind of a big awakening happened. And when I say awakening, I mean like Matrix type awakening. Like, I don't know if anybody watched my video, but it's a lot. 3 months ago, I started being just a little bit more intuitive, and it would start with like synchronicities and seeing things. And then all of a sudden, like I'm hearing messages and I'm predicting things that I didn't even know were predictions at the time. And then they would happen and I would be like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm not no Miss Cleo. What is going on? I mean, talk about like freaking out. I mean, I went through this for like 4 days where I saw so much of it that like I was on the floor. I was like, what is happening in my life? Is this psychosis? Like, what is going on? But it wasn't. Once those glasses come off, they can't go back on. I don't know if you've been through any type of awakening in your own life to really know what I'm talking about, but it's like once you see something, you can't unsee it, and it just keeps unfolding like a Christmas gift from there, but it's never ending.
Well, this is interesting because I don't believe in God. I didn't even used to believe, well, I'm like in between right now. Like people say everything happens for a reason, that type of thing. I used to not be a believer in that. I was a believer in, no, I choose my actions, and then from those actions you get results. So it's like I believed in cause and effect, and I never believed in what you're talking about. I think, which is like, I just believed they were coincidences. I didn't believe they were a signal, a message, anything like that. And I'm still kind of like that, but like the more experiences that I get, I'm still not religious whatsoever, but I'm starting to believe that everything does happen for a reason. And it's like, that's hard for a person like me to admit, because I was not like that. But it's like, eventually you just learn to trust yourself and trusting everything around you as well. Because when you've been through the ringer many times, you realize that, hey, I land on my feet every single time. And it's like, you start to wonder, like, why is that? Like, is it some divine intervention, whatever it is? You start to realize that it's like, no, it's the energy that you put out there, you receive back. Like, that's all it is. So if you, and we could talk about this for 5 more hours.
We will. We'll talk about whatever we want. Who cares? It's Saturday.
Yeah,
night.
No, I'm having a blast. This coffee is really good. I drink Starbucks coffee from a K-cup machine, if you guys are curious.
I love Starbucks and K-cup too.
Dude, I like Starbucks. I don't care that people hate on it. I like it. But I used to go to this Starbucks, and these girls would have my drink ready before I even got to the register. They would hand it to me. But we're talking about, so like, cause and effect and like things happening for a reason. It's like, you got to take action. You got to do your part to reap that success. But at the same time, you also have to be trusting, and you have to understand that a lot of times things don't go right just because of timing, and you don't really have control over that timing. And so all you can do is just step up. I call it stepping up to the plate. You just step up to the plate as many times as it takes, and eventually things work out. And, I'm not so much on, I believe you're speaking on numerology. I don't know
anything about numerology. I swear, like, we'll get into all that. But all of a sudden, that's how it started for me. All of a sudden I saw numbers and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? And then I was like, what's my address? What the hell? What's my birthday? Everything. It was mine. I'm telling you, everything is connected through numbers. So I don't look up any of this shit. I'm not lying. I don't look up numerology. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade. I sat there my whole life like, this Bible is not interpreted the right way. There ain't no way this stuff is true. My fantasy.
You were just enlightened from birth, Dawn. What the hell is this?
I don't know. Like, my fantasy was like, oh God, everyone's gonna hate me for this, but like, I wanted to bang it out in a confessional. Okay, that was my fantasy. I'm not a holy person. I was more of a like, maybe there's you're born again, and you, through karma, whatever, you're born again and you have multiple lives. Like, maybe that's what it is. But I wasn't spiritual either. I wasn't either of them. I believed in like psychics a little bit. I always was kind of curious, but I never got into any of that stuff. Like, I just lived my damn life. Like, I just said, I'm an atheist. I guess I'm nothing. Like, because I don't believe in any one thing fully. It's like, I believe there must be a little bits and pieces that add up to something.
Yeah.
And no, once I started getting these messages and it hit me, I have answers, and it's, I don't get to choose. So this is where it's confusing. Like, people that make fun of Miss Cleo, I'm one of those people. Like, well, why can't they just pick the lotto numbers? Okay, if you know everything, why can't you just tell me the lotto numbers? Because I don't say, hey, whoever you are talking to me, whether it's my higher self, the universe, God, it could be Buddha, I don't know who it is, but I'm given messages. I don't ask questions, really. I'm given messages. They come whenever they want to come, in whatever form they come. And the more I'm in this, and it's only been 3 months, the stronger they do come. And I know people think I'm crazy for this, and I don't care. That's the thing about me. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. They are real. My best friend Derek has witnessed everything from day one when I started seeing the damn numbers, when I was on the floor, like, what the hell's happening in my life? I'm about to faint, Derek. I'm about to faint. Like, both of us were like, what is going on? What is going on? I'm glad I had a witness there, or else I really would have thought I lost my mind for a minute. Like, to this day, like, I'll be like, Derek, look, I still send him everything. Like, look at what's going on.
Okay, so I'm on the edge of my seat, not literally, but I want to hear an example.
Oh God.
I want to hear, like, is it like something really good, like you see the number 777, like the holy numbers, and then something good happens, or how does this play out?
It leads me to something. Like, if I'm seeing a bunch of numbers, it leads me to a path of something. So the longer I go on, the messages, the direct ones come through crystal clear. The number ones and the music ones, I almost have to piece together like a puzzle, and I'll usually find out a little later on, what the hell does that mean? For instance, if anybody looks at my Twitter, I kept saying Knight Rider. Why? I would hear didn't, like I'm like an 80s girl. I kept hearing the Knight Rider song over and over in my head. And I'm like, what is this? And what does this mean? Like, so annoying for 3 days straight that I couldn't get it out of my head. And then I kept hearing A League of Their Own, like, there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. And I'm like, what do these two have to do with each other? But I can't get it out of my head. But who am I going to tell that to? So I will just tell Derek, because why am I going to be like, hey, guys, I can't get the songs out of my head. So yesterday I just happened to tweet it, and I find out that there's some stock called Kit, which apparently that was Knight Rider's car. And also in A League of Their Own, that was a little sister's name. So now I'm like, I'm sorry, Monday, maybe I'm going to just buy a few stocks of Kit, because why am I hearing this? That doesn't mean that's what it is. But when I get a message, it's always for some kind of reason. I always find out later on. So certain things I have to piece together, certain things I already know, and I will warn people something's going to happen. I will tell people certain things, and it almost always happens. And it's not some magic that I can do to make anything happen. If I had magic, I would be with 10 pool boys in a private island right now, living my damn life as a billionaire. Like, that's the truth. I can't make anything happen. But I get these messages now, and I don't know why, but I'm going to find out. And if I can use them to help the greater good, I sure as hell am going to do it. So now when I get a message, I tweet it out, and I'm like, guys, does anybody know what this means? So last night I tweeted out about Knight Rider. And that's when everybody was like, the stock was going up a little bit and all these things. And then we were piecing together, well, I tweeted about Rocky 2 weeks ago. And then I looked up something else that somebody else said. And I was like, oh my God, there's a stock, Rocky Mountain something. Like, I was like, yes, I'm buying those 2 stocks Monday. I don't freaking know. Like, I don't know if anything will happen from that. But if it's not that, I will find out what it means within the next week. It always means something. Something happens because of whatever message I get. And those are the crazy ones that'll come through, like, I kept hearing the final countdown. That's why I looked it up. I was like, well, I tweeted Rocky and I keep hearing the final countdown. Why do I keep hearing the Rocky speech and the final countdown? I look up Rocky 4. It's trailer. He's in the mountains. I go on Webull and there's a stock, Rocky Mountains.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what it means. I really don't think it. I wouldn't think it's stock related. I mean, that'd be kind of crazy. But, I mean, if it is, I'll give you all the codes. I mean, it's facts. I'll share them all. So I can't always untangle them. Like, when you're new to this, and this is new to me, because I just really started 3 months ago, I need help sometimes. I don't always understand what certain things mean. So now I'm just going to tweet them out. And it's like, give me the puzzle pieces, people. Give me the puzzle. What could this mean? If I can't figure it out, not direct. And I know it's hard to believe, but it's really true. I have months of screenshots and everything in my phone, like with trails of things that have happened to prove that it's true. And I don't know why. And it's lonely, and it's something I did not want to talk about, like, because there's a lot of people that are not going to understand and are going to be judgmental about it. But as I did talk about it, I found out that there are so many people that this is happening to also. Not the channeled messages the way I get them, but the synchronicities, those types of things, hardcore, and like awakening type things.
Do you listen to Kevin Gates?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh my God. Start listening to Kevin Gates and watch his interviews. He talks about that stuff all the time.
It's like I don't read books on it. I don't do any of that stuff, but I get like the answers. I just hear them. I don't know why. So that's been the newest in my life lately.
Okay, cool.
Figure that out. But it has, like, sometimes somebody will be talking about something and I just instinctively know, like, no, that's the right answer for you. You need to make that choice because that's what's going to work out in your life. I don't know how I know. I just hear it and I tell it. So when I hear it, I tell it.
Okay. Strong intuition.
I've always had one. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
When you tune into it, I guess, is when it really hits you.
Are there any books that you've read that were pivotal in your life?
The Secret was the only book about like manifestation and type stuff that I actually read. And it was because I was in a toxic ass relationship and I wanted out, but I felt so stuck. I could not and I'm such a strong person. It was like I was so broken, I couldn't get out of it, and I didn't know why. And I read the book, and I was like, maybe I can manifest myself out of here. But no, that didn't work either. But that book for me made me believe something different about the universe. Like I said, I wasn't religious, I wasn't really spiritual, but it made me believe there has to be something else out there. So I just kind of just like opened myself like a vessel, like, well, whatever it is, it is. And that kind of like shifted everything for me. I was like, I'm going to start taking care of my body. I bought a Peloton, and I started like looking at my ex different. Like he would be like sleeping at night and like just like breathe a certain, like snore a certain way. And I'd be like, I just want to get out of here. Help me get out of here. But yeah, I mean, he treated me like crap. It was very like verbally abusive. It was a toxic relationship that everyone has. And I just finally was able to get out. And once I got out, that's when my life like really, really changed. That I probably wouldn't have got out if I didn't read that book.
Nice. I got to read that then. I have not read it. So
I know you said like Joe Campbell was like a big one for you or something. Cause sometimes I like just find like certain little quotes and stuff. And I know you always comment on that.
Yeah, I got a quote of his tattooed on my neck. That was actually my first tattoo. It says "Follow your bliss," and that's Joseph Campbell's saying from his book, "The Power of Myth," which is like he's known as the pioneer of comparative mythology. And so he looks at all these narratives in history. A lot of them are religious or like Native American narratives, or it's narratives from all over the world. And what he did was he compared them all, and he realized that they're all telling the same story. And he has multiple books. One is called "The Hero Has a Thousand Faces," and like one of my favorite bands, Senses Fail, writes a lot about Joseph Campbell and that. And it's all about the hero's journey. Like every narrative that you'll read, every popular narrative, the Bible, whatever it is, the Quran, the Torah, any book, like ancient book or whatever, it all tells the same story of the hero. And Joseph Campbell goes into this in depth. And the book, The Power of Myth, I almost get it confused with The Power of Now, because that's my other favorite book. But it's a conversation with Joseph Campbell and this other guy. It's on YouTube, and then they just turn it into a book. But it's pretty eye-opening when you realize that if you go back thousands and thousands of years, everybody's just been telling the same story over and over again. They just put different characters' names.
It's true.
It's
all misinterpreted a certain way. And those are the messages that I get. They're like, yeah, this is real, but they read it wrong and they teach it wrong. And that's not true about it. Like I hear those things. And to make it simple, for what I hear is what you project, the positive energy. I was in negative energy. Like people talk shit to me, I'd be like, you know,
Sure.
So when I'm doing that, I'm negative right back. And that's what the energy I'm putting out into this world. I would make fun of people. I'm like, I'm not going to be no tree hugger, energy loving. That ain't me. Like, that is not my life. That I laughed at those people. I'm serious. I really did. And now I laughed at myself because apparently I'm a tree hugger. Okay. I don't have a choice anymore. Like, now I know the truth. Sorry. I just do. And
you know what I learned real quick? The more that I grow up, the more I have empathy for different demographics, and the more that I realize I cannot judge anyone.
Yep.
It's like this really powerful thing. And it took me a while to like get to this point. I'm not fully enlightened yet, nor will I probably ever be. But you get to this point where it's like you've experienced a wide range of experiences. You have empathy for every type of human being on this planet. And there's no way that I could judge you or him or her or anyone. And the same goes for me. Like nobody could judge me either. If you do, it's cool, but you can't legitimately judge me because you are not me. And so like, it's just really interesting that like, I think, you know, I don't think we have an intrinsic purpose of life. I don't think we are born with a purpose of life. I think we choose our purpose in life. But if there was an inherent purpose in life, I believe it would be to continually have these experiences and grow empathy for different types of individuals until you no longer judge anyone and you accept everyone.
I can tell you what it is. I promise you. I know it'll sound crazy, but I really can tell you what it is.
Sure, go for it.
We do live multiple lives over and over. And this is the part that I kind of hate, but whatever you did in your past life, bad or good, carries into your next. That's how it works.
Really?
So
Okay.
You're born with karmic debt that you have to pay off. That's how that's the message. It's not anything I read about. I just hear this. So you're born with karmic debt that has to be paid. So most people with gifts, and I'm going to say this, everybody is born with a gift. Everybody is born with a gift when you are a kid and you have that imagination and it's like magical. We are all born with that. The problem is society dulls us with it by what they teach us in school in these history books, have us sitting in front of TVs, all these different types of things. So
social conditioning.
Yes. The people that are gifted the most usually are the ones that suffered the most hardships. This is a fact.
Yep.
The reason for that, and I never understood it, was it's tests over and over again, and you're being built a certain way.
Yeah.
For what your purpose is the day that your purpose comes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until I got smacked in the head and my purpose came. Like, then I got all those answers. And it was all the answers I always like kind of wondered and was curious about. Like, because I'm open. I didn't believe in one particular thing at all. Sometimes I believed in nothing, but that is how it works. If you can get rid of your karmic debt in this life, you're kind of going to want to. I mean, even if I'm the best person and I project positivity every day, if I'm like laughing at somebody or saying something nasty, I know like, okay, like I'm going to get punished for that. Like, that's just the way it goes. What you project out is what you're going to get back. That's simply how the world works, whether you like it or not. And they don't understand your words. They understand energy. It's all energy. It's what vibration you put out. It's when you're talking about somebody and you're in a low vibration, whatever.
Yes.
That is what's attracting back to you.
Yes.
When you're in a high vibration, which I am in right now, and I didn't understand this before. Like I said, I didn't study any of this. This is something I hear. When you're in a high
vibration, Dawn, you're a fucking natural.
Yeah, like when you're in that vibration and that frequency, I don't care if you sit there and you put damn hexes on my ass, they're bouncing right off me. I'm not touchable in that way anymore. I'm not going to get those things anymore because I don't see you. Like, I don't care about that. All I care about is shining my light on the world. I care about telling people. I have people that write to me, I love you, Dawn. I tell those people every single day, I love you. You'll see in my comments on Twitter, some people need to hear that that somebody loves them. And I would tell them, you're enough, I love you, every single day.
Oh, I tell that to everyone.
That's what it's about. Yep, that's what it's about. And the more good you put out there, I promise you, is the more good that you're going to be debted back to you. And you will get it in this life as long as you stay in that energy. But the second you fall out of that energy and you fall into materialistic bullshit and wanting to be cool and caring what other people think about you, you will never get anywhere. And that also reflects into this movement, into every aspect of life.
Yes.
You have to be willing to step out of that box against what your entire family might think about you, against what an entire community might think about you, what your friends, I've lost friends throughout this process that like laugh at me. I don't give a shit, drag my name through the mud because I know what the hell I'm talking about. You'll find out later that I knew exactly what I was talking about. So laugh your ass off now. Yeah. I know what I'm saying. And it's not something I studied. It really is something that comes to you. And the most important thing in life is it's just energy. You should have an energy that when you walk into a room full of people, they turn and they look, not because they think you're beautiful, because they think you're so freaking amazing. You have a presence about you that people feel your soul. That's what your energy is.
Yeah, well, it's the energy of non-neediness. You know, like if you're out at a bar, which I don't really go to bars anymore, but you're at a bar, you can feel the energy of the guys that are like, I hope I get a girl's number tonight, or I hope I go home. Like you can,
the F-boys.
Like, dude, I can see it in you, man. Like you need something right now, and that's an issue because you have to fulfill that need from yourself. You don't get fulfilled from other people. You get fulfilled from yourself, and then you go out to the bar, you go out wherever you go, and you're not outcome dependent. You are self-amusing, and you are totally independent of what's going on, and you're going to have fun regardless. And people get attracted to that type of energy, and it's all energy. You could say 0 words and be the most liked individual in the room. It doesn't matter. It's like you have great energy. I would love to have a conversation or just be around that type of energy. But if you were putting off this energy where I could tell you wanted something from other people, would I want anything to do with you? No, probably not. Like, I might say hi, but I wouldn't want anything more to do with you. And if you exhibit that in everything in life, you will be extremely successful. So just don't need anything from anyone. Be content already, and don't take anything seriously. You will attract everything you want in life. And it's all, there are levels of consciousness. So when we're talking about energy, that's the same thing. There's in spirituality, there's a bunch of words, they all mean the same thing. Okay, so the highest level, I believe, is like love.
There is no level. That's a very important thing that I need to get out there, because I received that message. People want to say 12D, 15D, all these different Ds. There's no Ds. It's infinite. The levels don't stop. The higher you go in your growth throughout your life, the higher you're going to be. There's no levels.
Okay, well,
you're not built that way. But people think that, but you still need to climb those levels. Like, I know when I'm going through a certain thing, oh, I just leveled up. Like, and it's not a leveled up in a cocky way. It's like, oh shit, tomorrow I'm gonna get some extra kind of freaking gift that I didn't ask for and have to figure out for the next time. Like, it's true. That's how you start receiving certain gifts, and that's why you'll start get synchronicities first. This next, as you level up, you actually get those. You actually really get those. Yeah. There's thousands of people out there that it's happening to right now. It's not just me.
Yeah. And you also get those gifts by facing adversity. A lot of people have adversity come into their life and they run from it, right? They get drunk, or they do some type of vice.
They numb it. They numb it.
Yeah, in whatever way, shape, or form. And the answer to your problems, if you just faced your adversity and handled it, you would already be a multimillionaire. You would already have your dream job, dream girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, whatever. It's like, and that's something I'm just learning right now. You actually have to be grateful for your problems in life. And dude, if like, I used to be an alcoholic, drug addict, whatever, in my early 20s, and I would have never said something like that.
I would never think that about you, but I felt it. I would never think that about you, looking at you and feeling your energy and knowing who you are, because you're such like a gentle soul that it surprises me to know that about you. But like, everything happens for a reason.
It's like, you talk about multiple lives. Like, I feel like this is my second life. Like, I mean, unless somebody was there, they wouldn't know like that I was like that. But yeah, no, it's like, you have to welcome adversity whenever it comes, and you have to be grateful for it. And there's so many people, like, speaking of the internet, there's so many people. There's this quote from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, I think. And he says, it's something like, if you don't, oh man, what is the quote with the problems, dude? It's like, if you don't, it's something like, if you don't have like real problems in your life, your mind will create them for you. I think that's exactly what it is, something like that. And so you got people on the internet that don't have actual problems in real life. And so they create this drama, whether it be on the internet. Sometimes it's in their head. If they're not on the internet, they just create that anxiety because their ego needs something to attach to. But what you actually want is, you actually want problems. And this is something that's not taught in school, but if it was, God, we would be a better society. You actually want real problems to solve. And this is why it is, because A, you're typically being of service to others when you're solving problems, and B, it puts you in a flow state. C, you are you're not running away from things. So you're building this self-confidence that, hey, I could solve that, I could get that done. And then you go on to the next level. And it's all about levels. It's always about leveling up, but you have to face adversity and you have to be grateful for it. And it can take a while for that switch to flip. But when that switch
flips, if you flip that switch already, you're already in the process of enlightenment, by the way.
Yeah, you're already in it. And so you might as well keep going. And
you have to.
And once you go from, oh man, I have to deal with this, to, oh dude, this is an awesome opportunity for me to level up. You know, it's going to suck. I'm not saying it's not going to suck, but every time you're in a rut, in a low spot, in a dark place, it's an opportunity for you to face that adversity head on, learn, and level up and move to the next level. You get it.
And it's a funny saying because it's my name, but it's the message I hear all the time is it's always the darkest before dawn. And that's a fact. Yeah. If nobody knows, I didn't know what it was when I was on the floor and I was those 4 days when I was going to like spiritual psychosis. When you really cross that line of where your brain can't even understand all of the information and you're getting it at such a fast pace, you do go into a spiritual psychosis for like a day. And that's the dark night of the soul when you really are realizing shit.
I was just about to ask you about that. So I know about the dark night of the soul. I've experienced it a few times. That I believe the first person that spoke of that was Eckhart Tolle in Power of Now.
I don't read about it. I don't read about any of this, so I don't know. Like I just know because I get told.
Okay, that's where it's from. But yeah. I was intrigued that you posted about it because I know about it, and I don't think a lot of people do. Like, would you like to speak on that or like your experience with it?
For me, the dark night of the soul is right before you're about to start your enlightenment, right before you're about to start going from somebody that was just living like a regular human every day in this world, not thinking about spiritual stuff, not thinking about anything. And all of a sudden it's like you get smacked in the face with something and you're like at the bottom, like what is happening? What is going on? And you're starting to realize things and see things a different way. And you come out of it on the other side, but you have to be at like that rock bottom to get there. It's just like with stocks, support and resistance, baby. Like you're going to bounce. You're going to bounce every time. So when you're on the floor and they're telling you can't do shit, no, you're going to bounce right up. That's it. That's how life works.
By the way, our trading advice for this hour or whatever, speaking of levels, support and resistance is like half the battle. Once you get levels and then mindset, that's pretty much it.
Mindset is everything in trading. I'm going to be honest with you because when I first started trading, I was very emotional. If I took a loss, I was like, damn, like I took that loss hard. I would take it into the next trading day and then lose again and lose again and lose again. And I was like, why can't I get out of that shit? And I finally realized like the answer is you have to numb yourself. I call myself a sniper and I mean that shit. I go in there. I don't care if I took a loss or if I took a major. I've had 2,500% gains in one day. I don't give a shit. Wipe the slate clean. I have no ego anymore. And that's dark night of the soul. Your ego is stripped. You're not allowed to have one. I have no more ego. You could say whatever you want about me. I don't work through ego anymore. I work through source, God, universe, whatever the hell it is. Whatever my purpose is, I don't care about an ego. I don't have one. So now my mindset is every single day, wipe it clean, come in. You have to have a completely different mindset. If you did not get out of the I lost the day before mindset, don't trade. Don't trade because you're going to literally attract losses. That's just how it works. Mindset is the least talked about thing in trading that I feel like is the number one most important thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's more important than the TA.
No, I was reflecting on that today. I trade options. I think people know that. That's actually what I started with. But I was thinking about that today. It's like, because I'm always growing. I'm always trying to get better as well. And you can learn the TA, support and resistance indicators, all that, and the volume, whatever. But honestly, you have to, when you take a profit, you have to take that and completely move on to your next trade. You cannot be thinking about the past. That trade is done. We're now going to this next one. And the same thing if you take a loss. You have to put that in the past and you're on to the next one. And it's that you're doing that continually and you're just rinsing and repeating. But the thing where people get tripped up on is they get stuck in the past. They go, oh, I took profit at 50%, but it ran to 150. Like, no. If you're thinking like that, you got to change it, okay? Be happy that you got gains, move on. You got a loss.
Computer down after I'm done for the day. If I cashed out of that spot, I don't want to know if it went 10 more numbers up. Buy, shut it down the next day, fresh day. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
What do I need
Yeah.
to know?
And if you take a loss, learn from it, move on. Like the quicker you move on, the better trader you're gonna be. But if you just get stuck on a win or a loss, I got stuck on like
Both.
wins, like, oh, Jackson, you did such a dope like options trade. And it's like, no, dude, like that was a little bit of cash, and now we got this next battle. And if you look at it as a fun game, as opposed to like this like strenuous battle against the markets, it can actually be really cool, because when you're leveling up as a trader, you're also leveling up as a human, because those skills, they translate into the real world. It's like nobody wants to get hung up on the past. Like, you got to move on, man. Whatever happened, you move on, you learn, and you move on, and you just level up and level up and level up. And you're going to take losses. You like, just get that in your brain now. You are going to lose. All right. I'm not saying you're going to lose all your money, but you're going to lose, and you got to feel those emotions and let them go and go to the next trade.
And this is a message I receive, because I'm very much like an isolated person. So when I'm going through something, even as a kid, it's like I would shut my door, lock myself in my room. I don't need advice from anybody. I don't want anybody's opinions. I just want to go through it alone. I will self-isolate, because I'm an overthinker, and I have to just get through it myself.
That's one of my worst habits.
It's my worst habit. I know now it's my worst habit, but at the same time, it helps me. Like, it's like a catch-22. At the same time, it helps me. But I got the message, whatever you want to call it, that I need to allow myself to feel things. I always try to just brush things under the rug and not feel them. I hate feeling things. It's annoying. I don't like.
You're trying to be a tough girl. You're trying to be tough.
Yeah, I just would rather run away and not deal with shit. Like, I'm just that type. Like, I have enough going on in my life. I don't want to deal with this shit too. Like, whatever's the easier way, let me have it, but not anymore. Like, I got that message of, you cannot run away from it. The more shit you sweep under that rug's going to trip you on your fucking ass. You have no choice. End of story. So in the moment, cry it out for those 5 minutes. Get it out. Do whatever the hell you got to do. Have your little tantrum in your little isolated mode. Get up and move on with your life. That's what I do now. And that's what I have to do. And it works so much better, because I hold on to nothing anymore. I don't hold on to anger. I don't hold on to pain. I don't hold on to anything. It's like a fresh start in 5 minutes. Once you really master that, your life is changed.
Guys, make sure you are subscribed to Dawn's channel. She's got an awesome YouTube channel. Click my description, or you should be able to click the title, and it's also at the pinned comment. You could probably just search on YouTube, DawnDiamondHands. So please subscribe to her channel. I don't care if you're subscribed to mine. I'm going to grow regardless. She's got a lot of good stuff to say. Dawn, you should become a full-on YouTube channel teaching people. Okay, cool. Yeah. But teach people mindset and whatever you want to talk about. But I could see you being a very big channel, and something that I would like to watch as well.
I appreciate it. I really do. I can see in yourself, like, especially in the trading industry and in this business on Twitter, you stick out in the way that spirituality, where you say like you're not like kind of spiritual, but I feel your spiritual presence even when you say you aren't.
Like, no, I am spiritual. I'm not religious.
Yes, but it's the same. I'm not religious either.
That's true.
I'm not. And when I tell you it's all the same, one side will say, no, it's not, we're this and that. No, but you're all wrong. I hate to tell you. You are all wrong, because you're all right. It sounds stupid, but that's the truth. And there is
I know what you're saying.
That will tell me different, because I hear it and I get it, and that's it. It doesn't matter. There should be no, it's like AMC versus GME versus this one, that one, and the other one. Like, at the end of the day, it's the same fight, and we're all in the same damn fight of life. Period. Underscore. So, I mean, that's how it works. Spirituality, whatever it is. But if you're a person that doesn't want to believe anything, or you just always want to believe the bad, I'm sorry, your life's going to be crap. And that I can tell you a straight fact. I can tell you that with a straight fact. That's all you will attract into your life.
Because there is plenty of doom and gloom if you want to find it. But
victim mentality is the worst for me. And especially when you're in
that could be a whole nother live stream.
I scrape my knees and fall on the floor. I'm not even putting a Band-Aid on that bitch. I mean, Derek sometimes is even here. My toe was gushing everywhere, blood. And he's like, don't you need to like, and I'm like, no, get out of here. Like, I fell outside, like bloody, like, no, that's it. Like, I'm good. Leave me alone. I want to be babied. I don't want people feeling pity for me for anything. Like, I'm just that type. It's like, wipe it off, put your big girl panties on, get up and get moving. Like, that's the mentality you need. And the problem is, everything now is every kid gets a trophy. Every kid gets a trophy. I don't believe in that. I taught my daughter, no, somebody's going to be better at something than you. Deal with it. That's how life really works.
Yeah.
There'll always be somebody prettier. There'll always be somebody smarter. There'll always be somebody this, somebody that. You're going to have your one special thing that you'll be the best at. That's okay.
Yep.
You have to learn to accept defeat to be a freaking warrior and be good at whatever it is you're meant for. If you can't accept defeat, you're never gonna be anything.
No,
and what
true.
The energy you surround yourself with is the number one most important thing that I really want to teach about. Because until I got up and walked away from that popular kids table, even in high school, when they kept doing that, I was like, I don't belong here. I didn't belong at anybody's table. I'd rather sit by my damn self. And it was funny because once I sat by myself, everybody wanted to sit with me. I don't fit in. I'm never going to fit in. And I don't care to fit in anymore. You either accept me or you don't. And I don't give a shit if you don't.
Yep.
You have to learn to just accept yourself. But if you hang out with a bunch of, and they could be fun people, but they could be people that are going out drinking 7 nights a week. And they could be people that are toxic. You know when somebody's toxic to your life. You just know it. Whether it's a family member, a friend, somebody you're dating, you know when those people are like low vibrational, toxic people. Until you step back and away from those people, you can't rise.
Yeah. No,
you have to change that about your life first. That's the way it goes. Once you step out of that and step 2 feet into just those little 2 feet into your new life, your whole life will start changing.
It's just stop being a victim. Everybody has issues. Go tackle adversity and be of service to the world. And just do that. And like, try and put a smile on your face because we only have so much time here. So just enjoy it, man. Like,
yes.
And
if you fall, laugh at yourself, by the way. I laugh at myself over everything. The other day I was on the phone with Derek and I was brushing my teeth and I smacked my head on the sink. Like, who does that? And I'm cracking up like on the floor, can't breathe over. I mean, my head's killing me, but like, I'm that person. I will tell the most embarrassing stories of myself. Anybody that knows me knows this. I will tell you the most embarrassing shit about my life because it's funny. If you can't laugh at yourself, you're getting nowhere.
That's something I still got to work on. You're very good at it. I've seen your videos, but it's very important, man. Like, people take things way too seriously, and I've been guilty of this for sure. But just follow Dawn's lead and don't take anything seriously.
Think of it like a movie. I mean, we were in a popcorn stock, right? I mean, not for nothing, but ever since I bought that damn stock, my life has been like some kind of weird ass movie. I mean, it shifted from all different things, like all different types of movies, but we're now in whatever this freaking one is, some Matrix shit that I'm stuck in right now. And I don't know, call me Trinity. Okay. Cause I'm giving you the answers. I got past the Da Vinci Code freaking movie, and what I'm saying is truth. And even if you don't believe what I'm saying, try it. And I promise you, you're going to see the difference in your own life. Just try it for 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. You'll never go back.
So tell them what they should try.
If you have negative people in your life, you have to get rid of those negative people. Even if it hurts, even if it's somebody you care about, even if it's one of the most important relationships in your life, it's
going to hurt.
It does hurt.
It's going to hurt.
It does hurt. Really bad. But you have to cut it out because you cannot grow if somebody's chained and pulling your ass down. There's no room for self-growth. You will never escape. You are chained. You can't release yourself. And until you're free from that, you can't grow. There's no growth. You're just going to sit there every day in the same life till the day you die, just wondering why I live the same life over and over again. I want to believe in Pippi Longstocking. I want to believe in all that magical shit. And trust me, that magical shit happens the day you step out of that life. You're going to see the world the same way you did as a kid with that imagination because it's actually really there. It actually exists and is really there. Mm-hmm. The universe will actually like talk back to you. Maybe you might not hear them in messages, but you'll get certain signs. They're going to talk back to you. You're going to attract money. You're going to attract a person into your life. You're going to attract a certain group of friends into your life. You're going to attract all of those things once you learn to snip on the negative that's already in your life. And if you can't do that, you can't progress. That's just how it works. That's the most important first step you have to be able to take. You have to get up from the table and say, I'm not fucking doing this anymore.
That's so good. Dawn, let's cut it right there. Let's snip. And everybody subscribe to Dawn's channel. I would love to have you back. We could talk for a very long time. Yeah. You are so lovely, Dawn. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the education. I appreciate your energy. You know, energy is everything, like we were saying. And, you know, like, yes, the stocks brought us together, brought all of us together, but at the end of the day, we are all human. We all have our issues that we're dealing with. So why not just try and make somebody else's life better? And also, when you feel like your problems are overwhelming, go and solve somebody else's. That's the key. So subscribe to Dawn. I don't care if you're subscribed to me at all, but she's going to have an awesome channel. I can't wait to see that channel grow. And guys, thank you for joining us on this Saturday night. It's now 6:30 on the West Coast. That's like 9:30 on the East Coast. So,
my first live ever. Everybody always asks me, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to do it. But
yeah, and how was it? You were a little afraid.
I was nervous. I was nervous, but you know what? Like, I don't care what people think about me. I'm just gonna be authentically myself, and you either like me or you don't. Period. End of story. I don't care anymore.
It's fun, man. It's more real when it's live. That's what I like. But, Dawn, you were phenomenal. And guys, follow her on Twitter. I think it's at DawnDiamondHand, no S on the end, I believe.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit.
Yeah, okay.
So I only get one, and there's no diamond on it, but I only get one.
Well, guys, there's your chance in the comments. She was lofting that softball up for you to hit it out of the park. I am fucking around, but I love everybody, and everybody have a beautiful night. Dawn, thank you so much. Yes. Do you have any parting words?
No, live your life in positivity. Don't let anybody get your ass down. Rise above everything. Just every day you wake up, the most important thing, be grateful. Even if your life is crap, you know what? Just be grateful. Wake up and say, I get to live again today. Treat it like it's a freaking movie. If you can't do it in your own mind, treat it like it's a movie and you're a damn character in this movie. And I promise you, watch your life change. Watch it change.
She's right. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you. All right, guys, have a beautiful